it's the beginner crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube video. I'm showing you what I did every month. So today I'm showing off my April crafting, and April has been a really good month, especially the first half. And if I had managed to continue that stride that I had in the first half, this would have been the best month ever. I still think it was a really good month, and in some ways it was the best month ever. I have 2 finished objects. I have a new start. So it's been a really good month, but I know it could have been better. It's just after Easter, like things that were happening in my life just sort of made me not want to stitch or craft as much. It was just so tiring, but it was really good. So I do have a few things to show you. Let's start with the finished object so that we have it done. So the first one is my spin me round rug. Like, it is still too big to show it on camera, like full force. But maybe I'll be able to just... Nope. I'll try to post a photo of it like from really high up so that you can fully see the size. Something I didn't do quite right, because the edge is wavy. So I don't really know what happened, because I tried... Oh, I know why. I did not edge properly, I think. Although I can see that those waves start happening earlier. It's not just the matter of the last row. But now I remember that while I tried to put 2 stitches in those big breaks, I don't think I remembered to put 2 stitches before, where I also should have an increase. So that's one reason. But those waves start earlier, not just in the last round. So maybe I did something else wrong. I think there was one round where I felt like I had a mistake, but it wasn't really a mistake. So maybe that's what happened. But I'm still super pleased with the rug. So even though it is wavy, and I guess you will see that once I show the photo of it, like from standing up and possibly under a table, so that you can more or less see the size of it, then you might see those waves, but I still really like it, and it's been a really good design. So I'm super happy with it. Now I would like to finish the lotus rug, but I need yarn for the lotus rug, and I don't really want to buy just one skein from an internet shop, because it's just so annoying to have to pay more for delivery, and also for them just to deliver one small ball of yarn. It's really annoying. So I'll have to wait until I have something more to order from that particular shop, because it's that particular shop that basically has this type of yarn. So I'll need to wait until I finish the lotus rug. So I think I'm going to start another mochila bag, because the one I have now is quite small, and it was really good for the project I was working on, and I also finished this month, because it was also a small project. But I would like to be able to carry bigger projects with me, and those mochila bags are great for that. But I need a bigger one, because some projects that I have are bigger, and they would not fit. So I think I'll start with crocheting. I'll start a new mochila bag, just a bigger size, so that I have that for my future projects. So I guess that's what I will be working on for the next few weeks, possibly months, because I'm never really fast with those projects. And I might have other things to do as well. But I think that will be my next crochet project, and that means I don't have to buy yarn. I can use my stash, because it's just sort of a project backed for me, so I can choose from what I have. And if the colors aren't, perfect together, or I don't have enough for something, if I choose a project with pattern, it won't really be such a problem, because it will be just me using it and not a lot of people seeing it or paying attention to it. So that will be also good for my wallet and for my yarn stash, to just use it up a little bit. Okay, so the rug gone. My other finished project is a sock. I started it last month, and I had just the ribbing, I guess, and maybe a little bit more, or maybe slightly less than a full ribbing end. I only decided to do one because number one, I don't have much more of this yarn, so I would have to buy a new skein. Number two, it doesn't really fit me well. It goes just below your knee, and this is not really something I like wearing. And my first thought when I started seeing how long this is, maybe if I have two, I could use them as those kind of winter socks. If I feel too cold during the night, I can always wear them, and then it wouldn't be a problem that it goes up to my knee, because it's, for the night to feel warm. But then I realized I would not have enough yarn for all of it. And also when I was measuring it earlier, the, I don't know what's it called, gusset of the sock wasn't landing where I thought it should be. But now that I can put the whole sock on, it's where it should be. So I think I, number one, used too thick yarn, or possibly too big needles for this sock. And I also think because I used pattern or a video by Crazy Sock Lady, Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop, and she said she likes having like 60 rounds of this part of the sock. And I just followed the pattern because I have no idea like what I was getting myself into, and it might be her preference that she likes songs that long. My preference is for them to either be just above the ankle or just below the ankle. So this one is a little bit too long. I will get a use out of it still, because I'm going to give it to my dog to have something with him when he feels lonely, because it does have a lot of my smell, so he should be happy. He's not really a big sock eater or any kind of garment eater, but when he was a small puppy, he would sometimes bring slipper next to his bed. He wouldn't really gnaw on it or bite it or whatever. He would just like to have it near him. So I guess he would pretty much like to have it as well. It's not also shaped properly, like maybe not properly, perfectly, but I've learned so much making the sock, and I quite like it. I still will have to try making a sock on DPNs, so that will probably be my next venture into sock making. But for now I'm pausing the making of socks. I made one. I know what it feels like. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be. And I guess with more experience, it will go faster than, you know, one sock a month. But there are still things I need to improve because, for example, here I have a ladder. There might be, it just, when I change the technique, it will disappear or it won't happen as big. Here, the ladder most of the time went away. Like, you don't really see it that much. Although I did have a problem in some rounds where I would basically add a stitch, and I think it's happening here. I would just, for whatever reason, one part of the yarn would go over my needle, like the last stitch of the half of the round, and I would think it's a stitch, so I would stitch it, and then after a while I would notice it's not really a stitch, it's just an extra bit of yarn that was on my needle, and then it became a stitch. So here's, like, it is a bit holy because I stopped stitching it and it will become a ladder. But like I said, this is a practice sock. It will go to my dog. I don't think he will mind that too much. In here I tried, when I was weaving in, I tried to make this ladder disappear a bit, but well, here it really, you don't see it as much here because of the change of color. You can see clearly that it's waving in, so it's not perfect, but also my waving in skills are not really good. So still a lot of improvement to be made, but I'm super happy with the fact that I made a sock, and it's a functional sock. I could wear it. It's just one of them, and I would need a pair. But other than that, I'm super happy, and I will make more socks definitely in the future. I just, for now, I've had enough, and I need to do other projects also, so pausing with the socks for now, but it's definitely not the last sock I made. It's super cool to be able to make something you can wear, and I've made tops and sweaters before, but somehow the sock is it is different when you've made it. I don't know whether it's because this is something you can wear much more often than a sweater, or because of the shape, it just looks much more difficult and much more complicated than a sweater. It's not really when you know how to do it. So I don't know. I'm super proud of myself. I'm super proud of this one sock, and I'm glad I made it. And this yarn, Alize Batik, that I use, it's also pretty good because it doesn't really split. I did not have any kind of problem with splitting, so that's a really good plus for yarn. So I might use it in the future. Maybe not that kind of self-striping, but so maybe not Alize Batik, but other Alize yarn could be good. Another project that I have is Kutowa Kika's wishbone sweater that I made huge progress on. Even though I was really focusing this month on the sock, I made huge progress on Kutowa Kika's sweater that I had not expected. So that's why I think April was a great month. Because not only did I finish the back, the upper back of the sweater, so I stitched this much for the back, but also I stitched front from here basically, because this is where the shoulders will go. So look how much I've made. I only have 2 more full repeats plus 2 rows, I think, of the pattern. So I think that's 18, 20 rows, something like that. So that's great. That's really great progress of this sweater. And then I connect front and back, and I will have level 1 goal for the sweater done, which is good. Even though, you know, it's not, it will be more than a third of the year, and it's just level 1 goal. So I probably will not reach level 3 goal, but level 2 is really possible with this sweater. So I'm very happy about it. I will try to finish the sweater this year. And it would have been great if I did it before it's cold enough to actually wear it this year. But we'll see how that goes, because there are so many things I want to do. So I might not have the time, but it was quite fun working on this sweater this month. I don't know what happened this month, but I really liked working on it. Maybe because it wasn't my focus piece, and that's why I had so much fun that I didn't, I focused more on the sock in theory, but somehow I got a lot of this done as well. So yeah, it should be also nice progress in May, hopefully, but we'll see how that goes, because in theory May should be a better month for me for crafting, with having more time for crafting, but you know, life happens, so we'll see. But I really liked it. And then my cross stitching, but maybe let's start with black work and progress on my 2020 stitch along. As you can see, I got to here, which you can barely see because the thread is so light. The color is very, very light, so you don't really see the pattern, which is a shame, because I really liked working on this square. And I think the pattern is really good. And I guess you can more see the white as sort of negative than what's happening. Maybe that was the desired effect. But it's a shame that you don't really see the thread and what the thread did, because it was fun. This one, my eyes went totally crazy working on it. This one was super hard to work on. I mean, the effect is great, but working on it was horrible. just made my eyes kind of bleed a little bit. So really interesting experience this month. And with 2020 stitch along, I'm actually done when it comes to the goal for the year. Not done, but when it comes to the goals that I set myself for the year, I'm finished. However, before I move on to either Blackwork 2025 or progressing on 2024, what I want to do with 2020 to get a lot more done is do all those sort of regular fillers. And by regular fillers, I mean all those that are square or like small rectangle. I want to leave those long, thin rectangles for now, because I still need to think about what to write in them and what design to use there. But all those regular fillers, I want to fill them in this year. So I guess I will be working on this one for a bit longer before I go to other projects that I haven't reached the goals yet. But I just want to push myself with it a bit more than the goal says. So this one will still get some work done in the future. I will still need to grid, and yeah, I'll have to wait with the gridding because, I'll fill those out first to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then we'll see what's happening down, because I'm not entirely sure how I was counting the outer layer whether I counted the number of stitches or whether I counted like some stitches from some kind of moment. Because if I counted from a given moment, then I don't have a trouble. But if I had counted like from top to bottom, there was an amount of stitches and I just stitched them, then I will have to undo this because it will not fit. The way I look at it, those are two different rows, so I might be safe, but we'll see. Because I made a mistake in this row here 2 years ago when I was working on it, and yeah, we'll just see how far away the mistake went as well. Whether it was just there or whether it sort of cascaded into other problems. So we'll see. And then Miranda, the focus piece, which, being the focus piece, got quite a lot of stitches done. Just let me have a moment with it. Hopefully soon it won't be such problematic to make it stay together, because I'll join in another space. But yeah, okay. So Miranda got a lot of that area made. I also did stitch a little bit around the head of the lady, because there were some stitches there to be put. And this is actually the edge of the whole picture. So as you can see, I have a much bigger margin on the right side than on the left side. But here I was much more conservative when it comes to how much of the fabric I need to leave to be able to have some room to be made. So I'm about half a page there. So pretty soon I'll be moving back here. So like I said, it will be more connected together, those parts of canvas, which should be great. And on Miranda, I stitched almost 6,000 stitches, which is really good. Like I said, it was my focus piece, although the first half of the month, the way I was stitching, if I had continued, I would probably have gotten to like 10,000 stitches. It was really good. I had a really great stride. But still, almost 6,000 is a really nice progress, so I'm happy about it. I'm at 49.34%, so I'm really close to 50% to my level 1 goal. Hopefully I'll reach it next month. I should. So that will be a time to celebrate. But yeah, it was really, really good. So I'm super happy. There are some confetti stitches, obviously, but from time to time I make them disappear slightly, because I can from time to time do that. So Miranda got really a lot done and I'm happy, and I can't wait until I move here, although I hate working on this particular column because it's really annoying. It takes a long time to get through, like making all the stitches align, going through 3 layers of canvas. It's annoying, but I can't wait to get there, because then those 2 pieces will be much better connected and it will just make it much easier to deal with the fabric as is. And that will also mean that I'll just have much more done, and I'll be starting working on the torso of the lady, which is also good because she's the biggest, well, not the biggest, she's the main sort of character in the picture, but for now I've stitched mainly on the sky and the sea and a little bit of the beach. So it's time for the lady to also have some stitching done, but yeah, first I need that part more or less finished. Okay, then Envy, because this was Envy's month, and Envy got 744 stitches, so not as much as I would have liked, although the beginning of the month was really good, but later on it just went to pieces with Envy, so I didn't get as much done as I would have wanted. I am, however, really close to finishing the page, which is my level 1 goal, so that's great. I do have some areas still that need stitching before I can call it stitched, finished, even though there will be some stitches left, but I need those bigger areas of white to disappear before I can say, yeah, I finished the page. And I'm thinking about not really working this way, but working this way, like going down because of all the stitches here. But I don't know yet. I'll figure it out later on. But it has been tempting to go this way rather than that way, just to make all those threads used up and not tangle so much. So that might be a way to go, but if I decide to do that, I will have to grid all that area down there. Because it is much easier with gridding, that I have to say. So I will have to grid that before I move on to stitching there. And oh no, sorry, I made a mistake. It's not 744 stitches. It wasn't that bad. It was almost 1600 stitches. That's better. That's more what I remember. That I stitched quite a lot on it. Just, not as much as I would have wanted. So I'm at almost 3% done with Envy, which is okay. I would have liked more, but again, we don't. There are some things that are not in our control, so yeah, there's that. And there are those circles happening with the design for the sin, so we'll see what happens. Then I've got Avarice. Avarice was supposed to be retired this month, but I actually decided to stitch a little bit on it. It didn't get much done. It was just more of a break from Envy to stitch something else, because there was a moment when I wasn't feeling Envy. And in Avarice I stitched 256 stitches, so not a lot. But at least it got something done. So there is much less white, I think, in this area. As far as I remember, I was mostly stitching. So yeah, with Avarice, I did go a little bit, and I'm at 16.9%. So slight progress. Not too much, but it's something. So let's be happy about that too, that I'm moving with it. So that's it. Not much comparison to be made, unfortunately. And I have a new start that I was compelled to start because I watched some videos by Adelaide Stitches and I really loved what was happening. This is a stitch along called Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow. And right now we are supposed to stitch the frame for the birds, and I think we have like 6 weeks for that. I am behind because I have 18.7, I think, % of that part only. and it's been, I think, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. So over half of the time is gone from that. But I'm not really focusing on staying really much on time with everyone else. So that's not really bothering me too much. And also because right now we only got one part of the pattern, there are some yarns, some threads that are only here for a few stitches. And I hate threading and rethreading needles. So stitching 5 or 6 stitches with a given color and then having to change it is not fun for me. So I'm kind of intentionally going pretty slow so that new parts can be joined, and then I can see that, for example, somewhere, yes, I have more of that same thread, so I can continue stitching. I mean, not in the same area, but at least I don't have to rethread the needle so much. So I'm mostly now stitching on those parts that use a lot of a given color, so that I don't have to rethread so often. And I started more or less on the top and I'm moving down. I saw people who finished the frame and it looks absolutely lovely. So on the one hand, I can't wait until I finish because it just looks so adorable. But on the other hand, I want to be slow about it and, like I said, wait until new parts are like joined into the pattern and then have more possibility to stitch the same color for longer. I don't yet really know how it works. I read on the Facebook webpage that you can import that into the pattern keeper and kind of substitute or update the project that you have, so you don't lose your progress. Like all the stitches that you have marked as stitched will still be there, marked as stitched, because if you just upload a new pattern, it will like be starting from scratch. So you would have to mark all the stitches again, and it would just be a bit annoying, especially later on when I have more stitches done. So right now I'm at 18.7%, like I said, with 1161 stitches. But with every new part, if like the percentages will be going down because there will be more stitches to be made. So even if I get to 100% here with this frame, the new part comes in and obviously it's not 100% anymore, it will be less. So it will be fun to work on it, I think. I've never worked on anything like that where I have it in Pattern Keeper and it just starts disappearing, like the number goes down instead of up. So it will be an interesting experience. But so far I really like working on it. I did grid, as you can see, I did grid not 10 by 10, more like 2020. Although you can see that there is a moment for this 10 by 10 to also be visible. Although I have to see, my brain just keeps focusing on the fact that there are threads I think they're supposed to be every 10. So when I see a grid finishing, a 10 by 10 grid finishing, and I'm not there in the finished grid in my pattern, I instantly panic that I did something wrong. I'm not exactly sure, like mentally I know I counted everything correctly, but somehow my brain can't see it, that this will be the whole picture. And it turns out I bought way too much canvas. So I have blue canvas for another project in the future because I completely miscounted everything. So I hope this will be correct. And from what I can see, it is correct. Like really, the number of stitches is correct. The way this is proportionate to like the whole picture looks absolutely correct. But somehow mentally, because there are so few of those grids, my brain's like, nope. No, there needs to be more. It has to be longer because there are too few squares done. So it's not perfect. I didn't want to do 10 by 10 because it's just so much work doing that. But I needed something to make counting easier. But it keeps doing tricks with my brain, so not perfect. But I really like it. So we'll persevere and just keep on working. If you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have anything to say, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!